All right, folks. It's the first test video of the Hop Herald, which is my new beer review blog, web blog, video blog. I don't know what the kids are saying these days, but my name's Jake. I'm here to review great beers or not so great beers. Depends. Recommendations are always up there, but I try to find the hardest to get stuff in my local area, as in I don't really travel to get anything, especially during COVID-19 times. Anything that I can get at my local package store or liquor store, big or small. I love the smaller stores that are a little off the grid that need our financial support just as well as the other guys, the big guys, who can usually get all the stuff no problem. I have a wide variety of these businesses in my community, and they're all friendly. I don't have a liquor store I don't like going to, other than your local just macro supplier. Beer liquor stores that basically just sell the 30 racks and the Fireball nips and stuff like that. I tend to stay away from those. If they have a good craft selection, I'm in there like swimwear for sure. Spending my hard-earned money to really explore unique ideas of beers and what beer can be. I have a big opinion on the time of Prohibition till now and the lost recipes that we've had in the past, and I wonder how that affected beer culture and beer evolution in its own sense. And I want to just share my journey with as many people as possible. Right now, in front of us is a beer that I missed on the first when they first came out with it. I missed it, but it always sounded like a great beer to me. And Definitive. They are from. I'll give you a little side note of Definitive's little story. As much as I know, I don't personally know the brewer. Don't personally know the brewery owner or operator. I've been to the tap room, I think, twice. And they're up in Portland, Maine. And they opened up, I think, about, I want to say 2 to 3 years ago. And they make some good stuff. I wasn't impressed the first time I went. But as they're going through their cultural, I don't know, designation, if you want to say it, it's their ideas that are coming out, that they are putting their brewery on the map for some of the stuff. Float is an awesome dry hopped double IPA that they make, and that was absolutely delicious. I had that a few times. I bought a few 4-packs of that when I could. Definitely was I'll definitely grab that. That's for sure. But this one evaded me. This is Definitive Brewing Company's Session Ale with Blueberries. I think it's called 35. Session Ale with blueberries and mango. Great, like it says, session beer. It has proper session beer at 3.5%. I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check that. Yep, fruited session ale, 3.5% alcohol by volume. And unbeknownst to it doesn't look like a great beer. The appearance of this looks just like what you get after you clean out of a kettle. I'm not gonna give it great points on appearance. It's something I feel like this is what beer looked like when you just troughed it out of a barrel back way when. But definitely has to do with the fruited purees, and I'm glad that they don't try to make it pretty, because that would involve dyes and agents as such, which you don't want anywhere near your beer. But I am pumped that I actually got this at my local package store, which is only about, I would say, maybe a mile away from me. I didn't have to make the trek all the way up there, though I love it. It's just so expensive when I go, because I can't control myself. I have zero control over the beer that I buy, because I just want it all. Was recently tricked by just having the chance to buy a 4-pack of Foam Brothers beer at my local package store, and it turned out to be a milkshake IPA, and we'll definitely get to the milkshake stuff. I will review the milkshake stuff and the pastry stouts, but they're just not my style. I will give you a clear-cut, honest review of those. that just represents my own taste. So here we go. Just to cut the long story short, they're up in Portland, Maine, on Industrial Way, which, if you've ever been to Industrial Way, it is the candy-coated playground for craft beer lovers. You got the in one building, you have 3 breweries, and I think a distillery. You got Foundation, which is awesome. You have Battery Steel, which is one of my favorite breweries out there. It's hard to beat them with all their variety of their stuff. And gotta say, shout out to Austin Street Brewery too. They make some really good stuff as well. A lot of competition up there. And not to leave out the monster, which is Allagash Brewing, which is right there. So if you have a day to spare, going up to, if you're in the Northeast, or you have a weekend or a week getaway, yeah, fly up to Maine, Portland. It's a hot up and coming area. Has been for the last couple of years, but it is a brewers and a craft beer lovers paradise. So many breweries, so many good breweries up there. It's hard to shame any of them up there. They're all great, talented, great people, and yeah. So let's get to the docket for today, which is a Definitive Brewing's 35. Their session ale with blueberries and mango. Doesn't look great, as I mentioned before. It's just matte, like a matte, muddy looking beer. Smells amazing. You smell the blueberries. They're just right up front. They're punching you in the face. It smells like creamy blueberries, like blueberry yogurt, or like blueberry ice cream. I think they make Hood makes this wild blueberry ice cream, and it smells exactly like that. Creamy blueberries, and yeah, there's not much more to say about that. But I poured this a while ago, so the head's probably gone down. I imagine that there's a little bit of fruited puree sediment in there, and it is, as I'm just smelling, it reminded me of, this is actually a very hoppy beer. You got a lot of hops in here. It's not much shyer than a pale ale in terms of its hop presence. You still get you get your session IPA basically, which I think this is based on. Let me actually just do that. Keep that over there, and so you get your hoppiness, you get your IPA fix out of there. If you're a hop head, which I know I used to be a hop head, I go for cleaner beers now, but yeah, you're not missing out on any lack of hop presence in this beer. It's totally there, and you just it's topped off by if I can explain it to you now, because I've had it before. I will re-evaluate it when I taste it and give you the tasting notes, or current tasting notes. Right now, it's still fairly cold. It has been sitting here for a few minutes. It's about 70 degrees in here. But it goes basically blueberries, hops, and then mango at the bottom, and mango is the finish on the way down. I will correct myself if I taste it differently. But yeah, here we go. 35 Definitive Brewing Company Session Ale with blueberries and mango. Like, again, the blueberries come off right away, punch you right in the nose. You think you're about to drink a blueberry beer, but you're going to be pleasantly surprised. Oh yeah, shout out to a local cafe here in Salem. This is the Gulu Gulu. One of their puppers on here. It's Gulu Gulu glass. I think this glass itself is about 5 years old, if not more. And it says, so yeah, blueberry through and through for sure, but it's a creamy blueberry. It's a nice blueberry. It's the blueberry accents the hops so well in this, and if this was just ice cold, it would be such a guzzler. You know, you'd drink half the can because it's so quenching and tasty. And at 3.5, though the price tag doesn't reflect the ABV, and you're not always going to find that. You're not always going to find that good deal. If you want a sessionable beer, you're probably going to have to pay for it, which I know it's hard to do. You want, sustenance and quality and a good price. It's hard to do, especially when you're doing session beers like this, but this is a true craft. A lot of effort, a lot of money put into this beer, and it shows, and it's great. So first off is just blueberry, just coats your tongue, but you get a nice tropical kind of citrus background, or imagine an orange wrapped in a blueberry, or the other way around, a blueberry wrapped in an orange, because that's how it kind of goes down. You get creamy blueberry up top. It's on the thinner side. It's got that sessionable. I'm going to mention another beer called like Left of the Dial or Infinite Jest, Notch Brewing's, their session beers. It's similar to that because the grain bill, I think you want to get a thinner beer and you don't have as much sugar content of your wort, and it kind of thins out. In my perception, you'll get similar notes, similar grainy flavors that represents any kind of hoppy session beer. I feel like there's a lot of wheat in here, because that's what reminds me of it. Aftertaste is great, honestly. It'll bring you back. The fruit flavors are great. This time I'm getting just way more blueberry and not much mango. Let me see if I can try to fish that out. Yeah. I had I'm just getting mostly blueberries. Not really tasting much mango. I had a beer, I think last week from Finback Brewery out over in New York called Visible Spectrum, and that was a beer literally aged on mangoes. It was an IPA on mangoes, and that was, you couldn't really get much more mango flavor than that. The thing is, the hops came out first, and then the mango came after, and it was just all mango aftertaste. This, I don't really get the mango. Maybe it's because I'm talking more and not really guessing, tasting the flavor. Shut up and drink the beer, kind of. Which is a motto. I might get that. My first tattoo might be just shut up and drink it. Let's see here. It does smell great. For it being hoppy, a hoppy kind of session ale. It is kind of astringent on top. You get the bitterness of the hops. It is very, very base beer, very similar to Left of the Dial in my opinion. But it's just got blueberries and the blueberries and mangoes in it. Let's see. I'm not sure the date of this can is 7/2, so we're actually almost a month old on this, and the hop presence is really well. It's really good. And the fruit flavor is just maybe what it would have been a little bit more mango-y if I got it earlier. It made its way down here this past Thursday, so it's I've only had it for a day. Actually, maybe Night Shift Distro does this, so in that case, I would have had it for 2 days. It says I got nothing under. That must mean that whoever made that for the day just didn't have anything funny to say for the day. I used to, I was on the back end of the canning line over at Bentwater myself for a while, and that was a fun time. Didn't get to play around with the labeler much, but like that. But that seems like a fun aspect of brewery culture and being involved in that. So far, I don't think I'm gonna rate beers off the cusp, but if I had to, I don't think I want to make this this is a test, but I don't want to make this a thing of rating beers because I might really hate a beer, and I don't want to give it a rating at the end. Or I really love a beer, and then I might rate a beer that I had. Ratings to me are convoluted. It's all about personal preference to me. I just like to broadcast what I'm drinking and to get the ideas of what other people like to drink and be just a part of the community in itself. And I'll have some home brewing tips after it cools down. I'm gonna start a little home brewing journal and you'll see some videos on that too. But overall, if this, I would prefer a beer like this in 6-packs rather than the 4-pack bombers, because they I don't think bomber is actually the right term for it, but I would prefer these beers in 12-ounce cans for the same price. Just giving me a little bit more extra beer. It's a session beer. It's 3.5. If I drink 4, I'm gonna be bummed because they're only I could drink probably 2 4-packs of this, and that's just $30. And I don't want to spend $30 on a session beer. But with this quality brings the price tag. So when you buy, and I'm all for supporting small breweries like this. The global, or at least for the USA. I root for craft breweries to take over the place. But when you get down to session level stuff, it's you gotta really like the beer to spend money on it. So I actually do appreciate the liquor stores and the package stores that they'll let you take one beer to try it out, and if you like it, hopefully you can get back before everyone takes all of it. And I do appreciate that. But for the little guys out there, it's a little price point for if you want a nice sessionable beer and you kind of got money to burn. I would highly recommend this beer. I would highly recommend this beer. Other than that, too, this is a great crushable, sessionable beer, full of flavor. This is actually probably your girlfriend would even follow you into the store if you after giving her one of these, and it's probably such a great summer beer for. I'm kind of bummed that we don't get this around here, but I'm glad I got to pick it up. But again, it's I don't know, it's a little just camera tardiness here. Yeah, I mean, go check them out if you have. I plan on heading up north sometime soon to go get out of the house and kind of get rid of responsibilities for a weekend. And I would recommend if you guys have the same amount of time, or you've always wanted to go to Portland, go check these guys out. Make it stop number one, because there's just so much to see in Portland, and evidently these guys make some pretty good stuff. Pricey as it is, everything's expensive up there. But yeah, this is that's kind of all I got to say for this now. So again, Definitive Brewing Co. up in Portland, Maine on Industrial Way. This is 35 session ale with blueberries and mangoes. I'm gonna finish the rest of this, but yeah, feel free to subscribe and share this with all your brew nerds, all your beer geeks out there. I'm gonna come up with taglines as I go along, but Prost, keep us, and cheers.